Well, unfortunately, he's one of many. It's not like he's the only one, and we're gonna have to start addressing these issues more and more, and I think one of the things they're going to have to do before you get discharged is take psychological tests.
Right.
Make sure that you don't have any problems, and if you're having problems, don't release them until you get help.
Well, I don't think it's so much psychological tests as it is seeing a therapist and possibly getting a medical discharge.
No,
this guy needs to talk.
But when you're getting discharged, when you're getting your honorary discharge, before you can get your honorary discharge, be checked out mentally.
Oh, all right, I see.
And if you are having some difficulties, stay in the service and let them provide all the help you need.
Yeah, because at least there, you're going to get it, and it's going to be for free.
Yeah, exactly. And then once you're deemed to be, okay, and ready to face the world, then you give him his honorable discharge. So what if you stayed for another half a year in the Army, taking tests and improving, and maybe doing a little education and seeing psychologists and getting better.
I think we lost all of us. I think my thought is we lost a lot of faith in our government for taking care of our own people. I mean, obviously that JFK assassination, taxes, Obamacare. We're losing a lot of credibility with our own country.
We've been losing it for years.
I remember in one of the interviews this past week, I don't know if it was Chuck Todd, and I like Chuck Todd from NBC News.
Yeah, okay.
He had asked the president, about the apology and was it a mistake and all these things that went wrong with Obamacare. And one of the sites that I belong to on Facebook questioned that and said, did anybody ever go to President Bush and ask him in an interview, what about the 5,000 or 6,000 lives that we lost in Iraq? The difference is the Iraqi war cost American lives. It also cost Iraqi lives, but it cost American lives.
Yeah.
Obamacare, the terrible way it's being rolled out, all that simply means is that people are going to have to wait a couple of months before the thing's going to start to get rolling. And even the economist from MIT who helped set up Romney Care in Massachusetts said it took a good year before Romney Care really got to the people and they realized what a good thing it was.
Right.
Okay? The American people, the Tea Party, the Republicans, and even some Democrats who are unhappy with the way it was rolled out, they want instantaneous results. And if there's anything you know about politics, nothing happens immediately.
No, and it takes too long. I know. Too much.
But I don't think it was planned out properly. And
I agree with you. I agree with you. But the bottom line is he's trying to rectify that, so give him a chance.
I
remember you said give it a chance when it rolls out. Well, and I've been sort of against it for a while, just saying that I love the idea of universal health care. I just didn't like the way he appeared to be handling it.
Well, and who's giving him a hard time now? The insurance companies.
Sure,
the insurance companies are saying, well, originally you said that we could drop all these people because your plan was going to go into effect. And the insurance companies now are saying, but we haven't made provisions to cover these people for another year or something to that effect. All this is falling on his shoulders.
Yeah, it was a real poor plan. I mean, good concepts, but it definitely didn't come out right.
And I think that given time, it will, and it'll show itself to be beneficial for everybody. But the whole thing is, you got to give it time.
Nobody likes change, Mark. Nobody likes change.
Oh, I agree with you.
And this is a huge change.
Oh, sure it is.
The rich got to pay more. To pay for the poor, and the poor are going to pay more of the money they don't even have. Yeah. And it's going to be really, really
and Dan, the sad thing is, the whole point was to get young people people 18 to like 26 or 30 involved and purchasing health care for themselves. But now they see what a big fiasco the rollout was, so they're saying, hey, I'd rather just have nothing or pay the penalty if there's going to be one until I see what this is going to be.
Now, Mark, I'm sure you'll agree that the people who are applying for Obamacare are the elderly. Because the young people are now trying to go on, and they're realizing insurance rates are going up.
Well, actually, as far as the elderly go, if the elderly are over 65, they're already getting Medicare. So what they need is a supplemental income for the other 20%, a supplemental carrier for the other 20%. Okay? That's why when you turn 65, as I did now, I'm inundated with things from all different kinds of plans, from AARP to Emblem Health to Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield, and each one is telling you or outlining how they will best serve you as a supplement to Medicare, okay? The people who are going to be stuck are going to be people with young families.
Yeah, exactly.
People who are not 65.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And they have to figure into their budget now, well, how much is health care costing us under our old plan?
Right.
And if they're told that they're going to be dropped, they have to try to find a similar plan on Obamacare and see if it's going to cost them a little bit more. And then it's like taking from Peter to pay Paul.
Oh,
because
exactly,
eventually,
right. That's why
listen,
everyone's so upset.
I remember years before I retired, a lady in front of me in Genovese at the pharmacy.
Uh-huh.
And it shows you how long ago, because Genovese has been out of business a long time.
They don't think
And
so much.
the pharmacist was explaining to her that if she got a 3-month prescription, which she was entitled to, it would cost her less in the long run for her drugs. Okay? And the woman said, I understand what you're saying, but I have to eat, or I have to pay a bill, whatever it was. So she opted for the 1-month supply of the medication because she needed the money because it was earmarked for other things.
Right.
Okay? And that's what people are going to be faced with. And when the government talks about people being subsidized, well, that's only if you have, let's say, a family of 4 and you fall below a certain income. And from what I could tell, most people that I know who are a family of 4 are making well above that income. Okay, so they're not going to be subsidized at all. And they're going to be asked to pay probably a little bit more money.
I don't know at what points they consider you eligible for subsidies.
I have no idea, but if you ever can get on the website, I'm sure they tell you at what point financially you would qualify for a subsidy.
Well, I don't know. I looked at I've been able to get it to the New York State Exchange. That one has been pretty good.
Yeah, there's definitely a huge, you're either going to be rich in this country or you're going to be poor. I mean, I see it all over the place. Rich or poor.
We already have a universal health care plan working. It's called Medicare. All we have to do is expand it to the rest of the people, and you have a medical plan that's proven.
It's very true. I mean,
all you got to decide is how much to charge different people.
It's just what direction is our country going into? Because I know Mark, or Felix, you've been to. I don't know how much you guys travel. I used to travel a lot. I haven't traveled anywhere in a couple of years, but Canada, strangest thing. If you go to a restaurant, you go. Obviously, you and I will go to a restaurant. There's one tax, state tax. You go to Canada, they break down 3 different taxes on your bill. Well, it is. If that's the society we're going to be, that's why we can't. America has a problem adjusting to this type of thing. Everyone's got to pay equally. No one likes it. But
well, I remember one of my friends. We were having coffee. One of our days to have coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, best place to have coffee. If you're an old person like us, I know the young people go to Starbucks, but
yeah.
But in any event, and we were talking about Obamacare. This is way before it was supposed to be rolled out, and he showed me that there was a tax on medical supplies or something. If you need a knee replacement, that let's say the cost of the knee was $10,000, your insurance would pick up $5,000, and you had to pay a tax on the $10,000 of 3.85%. So in other words, it would cost you about $385 more to have the knee replacement because you were paying in part for the knee. That money was supposed to go to offset Obamacare. When you sell your house in 2014, I believe, there's an extra tax that's supposed to be added on when you sell your house. That money is also supposed to go toward Obamacare. So, you would say, well, what does that have to do with health and medical? Well, the bottom line is, like you just outlined in Canada, when they're taxed, part of the money goes for their health care, part of the money goes to the city, and part goes to the country or the state.
Right.
Whatever province you're living in.
Right.
Listen, if we're going to have health care, we're going to pay for it. Is it through a tax or if it's through the premiums? It doesn't matter. The bottom line, it's got to be paid for.
Well, the problem I have is this, wasn't to me is that it wasn't explained right to any of us. Obama can't say, that if you have your health care, don't worry about it. As you saw in the news, obviously, millions got canceled of their health plan.
Well, he more or less admitted to the fact that was a mistake, and he apologized for that.
Oh, I know.
It's too late now. My insurance was canceled. They don't look like they want to restore it.
Right, and I tried going on Obamacare, the website, and it I hate to say it, it sucks. I don't know. I mean, I understand its intentions, but I don't.
On a lighter note, I know it's difficult to have a sense of humor when we talk about.
We're trying to make light of it, right?
But on Jay Leno,
right?
A few weeks ago, Jay Leno had a thing when he was, giving his, 5 minutes or so of comedy, and he showed a computer with a cat lying on the computer, lying on the keys of the computer, okay,
right,
and rolling around. And all of a sudden, on the screen, it says, "Congratulations, you have just registered for Obamacare." Because it's been so difficult for people to get on the website.
Oh dear God!
That's true. It's been, it's.
Look, I'm a believer in that. You have to try to find humor in things. I know it's difficult. I know it's frustrating for a lot of people, but. It's
Mark, look, it's very frustrating. That's the problem is I don't know. Don't even tell me. I don't know what you're paying for health insurance or you have it covered, but you're getting a letter in the mail saying, or you want Obamacare, you now have to pay $200 more a month for health insurance. I that's what's happening. And
suppose they said that everybody now qualified for Medicare.
Right.
But you're gonna because that would be single payer.
Right.
But you're gonna have to pay X number of dollars. Okay? That would be no different than Obamacare. All right? But what you're doing is you're providing insurance for everybody. You see, I've watched news shows where they tell you about clinics that they run in rural America. Okay?
Right.
In certain, like Ohio, okay, or other places in Pennsylvania, all right? And the people who are waiting online, they're not welfare people. They are working class people who happen to have a job, and their job does not provide them with medical insurance.
Yep.
So a lot of them haven't been to a doctor in a year or two. Okay, it's only when they have these clinics and they have Doctors Without Borders who are volunteering their time, and then they will, refer them if need be to a hospital because they need further care.
They opened one up in the Rockaways.
Oh, I know.
Borders.
You're right. We were talking last week about, the Rockaway area. There are no more hospitals. People either have to go into Brooklyn or they have to go out to the island. Either way, it's difficult. So one day a week, there's a clinic that opened up, and Doctors Without Borders basically have volunteered their time, but you could imagine how crowded it is.
Anyway, listen, we are just about out of time, my friends.
I'm sorry, guys, to take up your time. I'm sorry.